Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to explain about how to store record type, nothing but object type information into array list. Normally, we have seen up to now how to store integers into the list or maybe strings into the list. Now, I'm going to store like employee details, student details, customer details, and all. In different ways, I'll explain in this series of videos. Please check. The first one, list of employees. I'm creating the list. Here it is. Whenever you are creating the array list, instead of storing that integer, here store employee type data. Employee list I'm storing equals to new array list of employee. This is the way we are storing the employees. But where is the employee class? You can define in a separate class in the same package. Here it is, or here it is simply if you want to write, you can create like this employee. That is employee. Initially, it has employee ID, suppose employee name, and employee salary is there. Employee salary. Sir, I just want to write in a separate class means what? That is better because in future you are working with the beans and all in spring level. So that's why. Here it is. In the same package, I'm creating the employee. In employee, we are adding, of course, the class will be public, class employee. And you know that the rules of the Pojo variables are private variables, private. Now, let me explain how to define simple things. How to define simple things. Here it is. Employee already defined because it is not saved yet. Okay. Now in this one, here it is the three variables are there. I'm initializing through parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor is a public employee ID, employee name, employee salary, and initialization this dot ID, this dot name, this dot salary, and we are overriding the toString method. You know the advantage of a toString method. ToString, that is. Now here it is returning that ID comma name comma salary, name comma salary, both. See, now in my list, to this list, first let me explain with a simple example. I'm adding, suppose if it is an integer, what we will do? List dot add of 10, list dot add of 20, list dot add of 30, like this. Integer and integer I'm taking first. Integer and integer. Adding 10, adding 20, adding 30, adding 40. Like this, we keep on adding the elements. Whenever we are displaying the data, suppose using the for each loop, I am displaying for colon from the list. From the list, each element we are collecting. Each element is of type what? Integer type. Integer, suppose x. And we are printing that x simply. The element, each element from the list that we are displaying. Normally, you will get the output when you run this code. See, the output is 10, 20, 30, 40. It is displaying like this. It is displaying like this. Now Now suppose here what we are doing, in place of this, I want to add employee objects. I want to add employee. How you are adding? By creating the object of employee and passing the value 101, name, salary, suppose. See what is happening. This is object creation process. This is calling the parameterized constructor. See, in this class, parameterized constructor is there. With the help of this, object is created and the address returned that will be added to the list. That will be added like that. We are adding 4 employee details, 102, name and value. Here it is, new employee 103, suppose name, value. Here it is, new employee 104, 104. Here it is a value. So this is how we are adding 4 objects we created and we are adding. So when you are passing the list, now from the list you are getting what type of objects? Employee type. References you will get simply employee E we are writing. But see, when you are trying to display that reference of object, here you have already overridden that toString method. If you are not overriding the toString method, what will happen? Let me show you first. Let me show you. In this one, suppose this is the list and here we are storing total 4 objects. 4 with the details. With the details at some address. Okay, here it is. The 4 objects will be added to the list like this, which are at different locations, and all these addresses will store into this one. Is a first address, is a second address, is a third address, and is a fourth address. The 4 addresses will be stored in the list. You know that address will show in a hexadecimal format, hexadecimal string. The list is pointing to this one. So directly if you display without overriding the toString method, if you run this code, what will happen? Look at the output. The 4 addresses display. List is. Okay. So what is the advantage of toString method? Whenever you are displaying this address, what it has to return, that you need to represent with the toString method. So what toString method will do? Now if you run this code, what will execute? This one, the details displayed, the details. Okay, so please practice how to do this.